Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. Today is stage 4 of the Vuelta. The Tour of Spain is on. It's the first flat stage. We get to see the best sprinters at this year's edition come head to head on today's stage. Now, I want to say something about today's stage because when you watch it, it looks a little boring for most of the stage. I'm here to tell you it's definitely not boring if you're one of the riders. Many times throughout the show, while I'm watching, the commentators are talking about how the peloton is calm and relaxed and everything looks smooth. That is not the case in the field. When I show you pictures here, you'll see throughout the stage that every 10 kilometers, the group is curb to curb throughout the race, fighting for every bit of real estate on the road. On TV, this does not show like it really is in real life if you're one of the riders. They are always nervous. Your hands are never leaving the brakes. Even when you're eating, you're keeping one hand on the brakes. There is never a time to relax on a stage like today. In 2012, when I was racing the Tour de France, we had Fabian Cancellara in the race leader's jersey. And we were fighting for real estate throughout the whole stage, trying to defend his lead. It was a crazy finish. Unbelievable the amount of crashes and the action. I was thinking when the race finished, I couldn't wait to get back home and see how exciting that stage looked. It was one that Sagan won, and he's doing the Forrest Gump run as he's coming to the finish of the stage, and everybody's crashing behind him. I get back home, I watch the stage, and it looked boring. I could not believe how terrible it looked on that stage. Now I look at today's stage, and it reminds me of that moment in the Tour de France when the commentators just talking about how it's calm and relaxed in the field. That is not the case. I understand when I'm watching it, and you viewers are seeing the same thing, that it looks like an easy, calm stage. But if you go back, hit fast forward, and stop your recording every 10 kilometers, you'll just see they're packed side to side on the road the whole time. It is nervous and a crazy sensation when you're racing your bike like that. So appreciate what the stage really was. It was nervous and crazy. I understand on TV it's different. It comes down to the sprint stage, and that's what's really entertaining us. So let's get to the last 2.5K. Because Sam Bennett and his Deceuninck Quick-Step guys do an amazing job of winning the stage today. It's really rare to see Deceuninck Quick-Step take it from 2.5K out. You'll see him on the front at different stages all the time, bringing the breakaway close. But when you really see the crucial moments of the sprint stages on other days when there's not a tailwind and it's more of a normal type of sprint than what we see today, they normally bum rush the front of the group and take over 1.5K from the line. Today was a bit different, so I want to talk you through the last 2.5K. Okay, Deceuninck Quick-Step must know that there's a major roundabout coming up at 1.5K from the finish line. That's why they all merge and take the front at 2.5 to make sure the team is together, and they'll come out of the roundabout, all of them at front, of course positioning Sam Bennett at the front so he doesn't have to start accelerating and fighting for position when they come out of that at 1.5K from the line. That's a crucial point in this race at these speeds. These speeds are faster in today's stage with that tailwind or cross tailwind that they have. And so it's very, very important that they already have him at the front, the train established with 1.5K. With 2.5K, when they take the front, what's really impressive, they have the whole team, at least 7 guys that I saw on TV. The whole team's there. They take them into the roundabout. The reason why this roundabout's dangerous is it's not just the straight through and up. It's not like this and straight up. They're going to go in all the way around and then exit out. So it's very important because that's going to cause the field to bunch up and then thin out when they go through the roundabout, and they're going to come out at 50K an hour. When I put up the pictures, make sure you look at the speed that they're exiting from the roundabout. It's very impressive. Speeds never drop anywhere throughout the stage because it's so fast. Now, when they come out of the roundabout, they have at least 6 Deceuninck Quick-Step riders, if not all 7, exiting that roundabout all in the front. The two guys on the front, their job is done. They needed to do that 1K to the roundabout, and then they got to do one big hit out of the roundabout to make sure the speed goes back up to maximum. Once they do that, you'll see both of them pull off and get out of the way. You're left with 3 or 4 lead out guys now for Sam Bennett. The most crucial part of the next 2 lead out guys is to get Sam Bennett into the right turn. That right turn starts 500 meters from the line. After the right, there's a bump. This is a very crucial moment in the race. There's no fixing things if you're too far back at 500 meters. Before the roundabout, you can fix things. Right after the roundabout, you can somewhat fix things. On the right turn with 500 meters, you can't fix but a couple positions, and that is it. So it's crucial that they leave him into that right turn with 500 meters at the front. Okay, they do that. DeCoonick Quick-Step's marvelous in their positioning. They take the inside line and they go into the right turn. Perfect position. Sam Bennett on his teammate's wheel. Now this is the crucial part. UAE Team Emirates with Philipsen is following his teammate, and when they go into the right turn at 500 meters, Philipsen, if you look, is left of Sam Bennett, but his teammate is accelerating through the corner and starts immediately sprinting. His teammate knows when they go into the left with 300 meters to go, he has to go in there first for Philipsen with a chance to win this stage. Remember though, he has to pass 3 riders, 3 of the best sprint lead-out riders in the world, and they are going 100%. So that means that Philipsen's effort, when we see him come and do the sprint, it looks like Philipsen is doing 250, 300 meters from that left turn to the line. His sprint actually started at the right turn. It is very impressive. Philipsen's result today and how far he'd been sprinting and the effort he put in to get second on today's stage was a huge effort. When his teammate starts that sprint, yes, he's leading him out. Yes, he's giving him a draft, but he's also accelerating. No matter what, when a rider is accelerating in front of you, even if you're getting a draft, you still have to accelerate, which means you just added 2, 3, 4, 500 watts on your pedal just to follow him. Okay, he's breaking the wind. It's saving you some power, but it is not the same as when you're at a steady power, sitting behind the guy, smooth and easy. Okay, go back to Sam Bennett. For 2.5K before the line, Sam Bennett so far has been on his teammate's wheel for 2 kilometers at a steady pace, with the only real acceleration coming from each time his teammates pull off and the next fresh rider comes up. He'll accelerate a little bit, but they're trying to really keep the speed steady. So the biggest acceleration that Sam Bennett has gone through was when he exited the roundabout. That was the hardest acceleration that he's had so far since 2.5K. After they get DeCoonick Quick-Step get the speed back up after the roundabout with 1.5K to go. Once the speed is back up, Sam Bennett he is not on the pedals to the same degree that Philipsen is, okay? UAE Team Emirates is always doing acceleration. Philipsen is always doing acceleration with his teammate. They come out of the right turn side by side with, well, just behind, but on the left side of DeCoonick Quick-Step. Therefore, the lead-out man for Philipsen now has to start a sprint, which means Philipsen is starting his sprint. From 500 meters out, Philipsen goes into the left turn, full sprint all the way to the line, and that's where he gets that immediate gap. I want to talk about Sam Bennett before the last left turn. He sees Philipsen come by him. For sure, he's looking to the left a little bit, and you'll see that he can see that Philipsen is going by him fast. Now he needs to leave his lieutenants, DeCoonick Quick-Step lead-out guys, and he has to pass on the right side. There's a little bit of luck involved here, because when Sam Bennett's passing on the outside in the left turn, any one of those riders could easily pull off, okay? Philipsen's lead-out guy could easily just take everyone hard right into the barriers when he pulls off. He doesn't. His DeCoonick Quick-Step guys, they're well drilled, but if one makes a mistake and they don't know that Bennett is passing on the outside, they can take him to the barriers. the Bora Hansgrohe rider that jumped before the corner. He could take everyone to the barriers. Instead, Sam Bennett gets lucky. He stays on the outside. It's very dangerous on the outside, but he passes anyways. He gets luck. They drop down the hill, and the whole time he's gaining the whole time on Philipsen, who's now he's 400 meters into a sprint. He's not 250, he's 400. So when Sam Bennett comes up, he's getting the sling off him. He pulls and just goes right by him and pulls a really fantastic win for another Grand Tour stage win. He lit up the Tour de France for us, and now he's here at the Tour of Spain doing the same thing. Viewers at home, appreciate what you saw today. It was never calm. It was always stressful and nervous. And Sam Bennett, UAE Team Emirates, they put on a show. It was great to watch. I'll see you real soon on the next Butterfly Effect.